So this video is just covering what cryptocurrency mining is and how you can mine it yourself. So cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. There are tons of different coins. There's also Dogecoin. After the meme dog became famous or popular, I don't know, famous, popular, whatever you want to call it, they basically made a coin after him. So you can have it for anything really, as long as it's out there. So what cryptocurrency is, basically Bitcoin was the first one to popularize it. And what it was is you go online to, let's just say for now, the dark web, because that's where I think it all originated, which is where everything originated. So they went on the dark web, and you'd be able to purchase something illegal on the dark web. And to be able to not get caught, they'd use Bitcoin. What Bitcoin does is, of course, there's a ledger kept of it to be able to know transactions, but it just is a random string of numbers. So it's a random amount of numbers. And so I don't know the exact science to this part of it. I read online, it was a little confusing to me. So I'm just explaining it in the simplest terms possible that I can. It's basically a random amount of numbers that are there that basically tells you that transaction. And what it will do is you won't be able to be caught, because what'll happen is it can't be traced back to you or back to the seller. Well, the seller, of course, I don't know, I possibly can be traced back to, but you also get a certain address yourself for Bitcoin. So then what you do, what'll happen is you'll have a certain chain of numbers, and that can be one Bitcoin or 0.1 of a Bitcoin, or however you want to think about how much of a Bitcoin that random amount of numbers. I'm going to call it a string of numbers because that's what it's called for real. So that random amount of numbers is a string of numbers. So however you want to think about that random string of numbers into however amount of Bitcoin you want to call it. Now, Bitcoin has a price to it. I think it's about 15 to 16,000 right now. I'm not too sure about Bitcoin. And you have all this other stuff that has a certain amount of value to it. So the one that I have been mining myself is Monero, because it's the least popular one, and it's available with this app that I'm using that is available on phones and computers. No matter what computer you have, you can mine it. No matter what phone you can have, you can mine it. Except I've been having an issue with the Blade Z Max in terms of mining something. For some reason, I've been able to do it on all my other phones, just not the Blade Z Max. And what this will allow you to do is it'll allow you to mine for a certain cryptocurrency. I haven't been mining much or for the longest time at all. So what you'll be able to do is you'll have an unconfirmed balance for a little while, and then it'll automatically just be added to your wallet. Your wallet, basically like your physical wallet, except it's virtual. And then what you can do is you can take it out, you can cash it out, and you can sell it and make the amount of money that is available like the amount of money. If $200 is how much you have in a certain amount of things, you'll get $200 after you sell it. So it's basically worth real money, except if you try to buy something online, it won't be traced back. Now, it's legal, you're allowed to have it, because all these different companies are using it and taking it and allowing it in their stores. I think there are Bitcoin vending machines, ATMs, all throughout some certain areas that you be able to buy stuff from them. So you can buy Bitcoin for more than it's worth, because of course they want a percentage. But when you're mining, you give a certain percentage of it, it's usually 1%, over to whatever site or whatever it is that you're using to mine, and then you're bringing in the rest of it to yourself. So it's not even a big amount, but for the amount of people using it, you have it. So if you click the link in the description below, Mobile Miner, it'll bring you to their website where you can download it for the computer, Mac, Windows, and Linux. And then there's an app for the I think just for Android. I don't know if there's one for iPhone, but with the Android one, sign up, create an account, username and password, create an account so that you have something ready available for you so you can switch it over to a computer if you want to at one point. And then what you'll be able to do is that you can just press play on the Monero one and it'll start mining, and then you can have it sit through, and it actually works. So it gives you a certain hash per second. And what this hash per second does is it's how strong per second you're being able to. You have to have a stable internet connection. It doesn't have to be too fast at all. And it just shows you how many strings per second. So when you're doing it, you don't want to fool the system, because the system knows whether or not your string of numbers is fake, because every other person's string of numbers has to be approximately the same to a point to be able to use it. And if you fool it with a certain string of numbers, that string of numbers could have already been used, or it hasn't gotten up to that high of a string of number yet on your end, so you could be fooling it. Don't fool it, it'll know. But what it'll do now is you'll be able to mine, and then when you have it mining, you can literally get an old computer. I have a computer, I loaded Windows 10 on it. It originally came with Windows Vista, 2000, so about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago or 11 years ago now actually, in about 2009, my family got a desktop computer. Windows Vista, I wouldn't say top of the line, but it was pretty beefy for the time in my opinion. And I'm able to, since I loaded Windows 10 on there, I think it's Windows 7 and up for this software, I loaded Windows 10 on there. What you'll be able to do now is you'll be able to go and load up your program on there, 32-bit or 64, so you don't have to worry about the computer you're using. Click download for your operating system and log in, click extended mode so you have your wallet and everything there with you, and you'll be able to use the software fully. And then what you do is you can go and you can start mining. Now, if you want to see how good your system is, my system personally, for that computer, it couldn't continue benchmarking. It stopped after the third 3 out of 9. It didn't want to continue, so I just stopped it and I just let it mine. So what you can do is you can just let your computer mine. You don't even have to check benchmarks. If the higher the hash per second, the H per S I think they call it, or yeah, I think it's H per S, then the higher that, the better your system is. So if you're getting over 1,000 hash per second, you're using two 1080 Ti's. Like, the higher, the better your system, the more hash per second it is. So you can ultimately use this mining thing when you're not using your computer. Just turn on the mining thing if your computer's on 24/7. Use the extra computer power that you're not using at the time to go and mine your mine for cryptocurrency, and then use that. You can use that to upgrade your system later on. So let's say your system's good enough that you get $100 a month, and you're just looking to upgrade your monitor maybe. So if you're getting $100 a month, you can ultimately use $100, or even the two, or even you can just wait another month and you can save up, continue saving up, and then eventually you can either save up for the monitor, or you can save up for a better system where you can make $200 a month, and then you can go from there. Just, you work your way, like. But for what it's worth, I think it's worth checking out and trying for yourself to see if you think it's worth it. Now remember, I've only had an issue on my Blade Z Max. Otherwise, the one I recommend is the OnePlus 5 or 5T. Those are the ones I recommend because of the highest amount of RAM. So I'm going to head over to my computer and explain the software a little bit. So now that we have that all through explaining what mining is and stuff, what you want to do is, I'm just going to open up Mobile Miner wherever it is on my computer. So, or Miner Gate. I'll link it down below what it is. So now what you can do is I'm gonna blur out my email address, but what you do here is you can see I hit stuff, so the last one is XDN. Now you have a smart miner that automatically starts mining. You can set it to the highest amount of CPU cores. So as you can see, I have an unconfirmed balance, and it's gonna tell you your hash per second, which should be good. And then what you can do is you can go through mining all of this stuff. So BCN is not Bitcoin. It's not a lot of money at all. There's a lot of stuff. There's Ethereum, which is pretty high, which I started mining. I don't even have one yet, but I started it, so I should probably continue that one. Then you can benchmark your system, and then achievements if you want to try to be cool. Complete the challenge and win a prize. I don't know what the prize is. It doesn't tell. I didn't get there yet, but I am still finding out. So what it does is it also shows you how many miners are online, so you'll know how many miners there are. You have your wallet, so you can, let's say you had an Aeon, you can withdraw the amount. The fee is this. So let's say I wanted to withdraw one to an address. The fee is 0.01 for Aeon. Payment ID is optional. Your address is required, and then your current password for your account. So with this, you'll be able to, you have to sign up online for a wallet that you'll be able to eventually, either you can sell it to someone else, or you can go through with going online to different wallet websites where you're able to sell on there, or like Coinbase or whatever. You can get a wallet from them, and then when you put in your address, you can withdraw the amount that you want over, and then you can sell it. So you're able to do this to everything on this list. As you can see, the fee for XDN is pretty high still. MCN is lower than the lowest one. There keeps on going. You can see the fee for each one. And then you have your smart miner. You have your miner again. Set the amount of cores that you want. So you can do smart mining. XMR is the smartest, because right now, if you do your wallet, the fee is 0 dynamic fee, so there's no fee, so mining it won't hurt you. You'll get the most amount out of XMR. XMR though has a low amount, but if you really want to find out the price of all of this, just go to Chrome, search up price of XMR, and it'll tell you Monero is $339.60, almost 61 cents. So that one is getting higher and higher. I would recommend this site over here because it tells you it's currently going up and down like crazy, but it's in the range of the $300 for a while since this morning. And you can see over 24 hours, if you go through 7 days, you can see it has gone up and it's gone down, but it hasn't gone down too low. Same thing over here, the highest was 483 bucks. And if you go 90 days, you'll really see the progression of it, that it's not really failing. So for what it's worth, I think Monero is the best one to mine right now, but it's all up to you. Now I'm gonna head over to my phone, where I will show mining on the cell phone. Now, I know you're watching this on your phone probably, but now what you want to do is you want to search up Mobile Miner, because that's the original website in MinerGate. Now, when you open it, it'll probably show up with with everything you need to know. I'm gonna take this out of here first. So, what it first pops up with is your mining stuff. So originally, it's Monero's up here. Here are the ones that you're able to mine. You can mine Bitcoin from here. And then what you can do is you press the play button and it'll start mining your mining through. Battery is low, but it'll start mining and give you this hash. And then you can do dashboard, chat, free coins calculator, cloud mining, support and settings. So you're able to easily mine from here. So if you have multiple phones, you can mine on those multiple phones. So that is just the basic there. I'm gonna leave links to everything down below. If you did like this video, please rate, comment, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.